Menteri Luar Negeri Rusia, Sergey Lavrov membiarkan Barat jika ingin menggunakan kekerasan dalam menyelesaikan konflik di Ukraina. Namun ia menekankan bahwa Rusia juga akan memberikan tanggapan yang sesuai untuk melawan tindakan Barat. Hal itu disampaikan Lavrov saat menghadiri sidang Majelis Umum PBB di New York pada Sabtu 23 September. Ia mengutip kembali pernyataan Barat yang menyebut bahwa Rusia harus dikalahkan di medan perang. Menurutnya, pernyataan itu dapat diartikan bahwa Barat tidak menginginkan perdamaian di Ukraina. Lavrov pun mengizinkan Barat menggunakan cara kekerasan, namun Rusia juga akan menanggapinya secara serius. Pada kesempatan yang sama, ia juga menuduh Amerika Serikat dan sekutunya berupaya menciptakan blok-blok yang saling bermusuhan di muka bumi. Menurutnya, hal itu adalah taktik yang sengaja dirancang untuk memaksa dunia bermain mengikuti aturan Barat. Terkait peluang damai di Ukraina, Lavrov menekankan bahwa Rusia selalu siap untuk melakukan negosiasi. Namun ia menyebut formula perdamaian yang diajukan Presiden Ukraina Volodymyr Zelensky tidak realistis.
In the statements of many previous speakers, the idea that our shared planet is experiencing irreversible changes was mentioned right in front of our eyes. There is a new world order being born. Our future is being shaped by a struggle between the global majority in favor of a fairer distribution of global benefits and civilized diversity, and between the few who wield neo-colonial methods of subjugation in order to maintain their domination, which is slipping through their hands. The collective West has a calling card, and it has long been to reject the principle of equality and their total inability to reach agreement. Being used to looking down at the rest of the world, Americans and Europeans make all sorts of promises, and they take on commitments inter alia, written ones and legally binding ones, and then they just don't fulfill them. As President Putin pointed out, the West is one that is truly an empire of lies. Russia, like many countries, knows about this firsthand. In 1945, when we, along with Washington and London, together were vanquishing the enemy on the front in the Second World War, our allies in the anti-Hitler coalition were already making plans for a unthinkable military operation. That's what it was called, against the Soviet Union. 4 years later, in 1949, the Americans drafted a drop-shot operation to make mass-scale nuclear strikes on the USSR. These ghastly, senseless ideas did remain on paper. The USSR created its own weaponized retaliation. It took the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962, when the world was on the brink of nuclear war, for the idea of deploying it, and the illusion of victory stopped being the basis of the military planning strategy of the US. At the end of this Cold War, the Soviet Union plays a decisive role in reuniting Germany and agreed upon parameters for the new security architecture in Europe. Furthermore, the Soviet and then the Russian leadership was given concrete political assurances regarding the non-expansion of the NATO military alliance to the east.
Terima kasih sudah nonton. Jangan lupa like, subscribe, dan share ya.